You're the only team in the National Football League who has not allowed a 300-yard passer this year. The NFL is a passing league. What do you attribute that to?
A great combination of rushing coverage. Our coaches obviously have done a really nice job to really solidify the scheme this year and simplify some of the communication, and then the players have just done a great job executing. Our rush up front has been relentless, and the back end has just been really, really tight. So you combine those two aspects, it's always going to be hard.
We've talked about Sauce Gardner often here. He has 4 PDs. That's a career high against Seattle Seahawks. He leads the National Football League with 20 PDs. How good can he become down the line?
He'll get better when he figures out how to go find the ball. and I think that's going to be his next step. You know, depending on the PBU that he gets, it's either a missed stop or a good PBU, and some of those have got to turn into those opportunities where he takes it, and I think he's that close. And like I've said before, you can keep trying him. Eventually he's going to start taking it. When he does, they're going to come in bunches.
How about that combination with him and DJ? DJ now has 12 PDs himself. That's 32 for the combination. Is this the best outside corner tandem in the National Football League?
It's as good as anybody for sure. They complement each other really well. You got, DJ, just a relentless worker, strains his tail off, studies his tail off. I think a lot of that trickles down to Sauce and what he's learned from DJ, and then Sauce has his own style of game where he brings all that length and size to him, but a really cool combination, and we got these guys for a long time. They're really young, so it's going to be good for a while.
As someone who's a head coach in the National Football League, do you talk about being a spoiler, or is that immediate talk as far as that reference?
I don't know about all that. Spoiler, I think it's no different. You play every game like a championship game, and I know it sounds boring and cliche, but it is. You have to have the mindset that every game is a championship game, every game is a play-in game, every game is a playoff game. Every game is the biggest game of your life because it's that game. And I think when you train that way, you avoid all the highs and lows. And again, young roster is something that we're trying to learn, and felt like we did a good job earlier in the season, and then they really did become championship games. And so yeah, there's the cliche and verbiage, but it's just something that you got to stick to from a philosophical standpoint.
In time, will they be able to learn from what's transpired here, your team?
Absolutely. Anytime you have adversity, especially if you attack that adversity with excitement and great spirit, you're going to find great growth. It's when you're in adversity and you're miserable about your surroundings and you're miserable about where you are, is when you regress as a player, a person, just in general. And I think we've got a group of guys who, through all this adversity, have attacked every single day and have tried to find ways to get better. And while the results haven't shown, there's been a tremendous amount of growth and a lot of learning, a lot of things that we can learn and take with us into 2023.
What kind of message did you give these guys when you got back from Seattle?
Same thing. It's tough. Obviously, this one stings because we know what we had at our fingertips. It's been 5 games now since we've had a chance to celebrate in the locker room, but I'm still proud of the group. We had 3 really, really hard-fought games in a row. Disappointed about the Thursday night game and obviously going to Seattle and just from the overall performance, but when you look globally, just really excited about the direction we're going and the things that we can learn from.
You've ended seasons for so many years. Can you talk about how unique that locker room is going to be after you walk in there Sunday afternoon, because it will never be the same?
Yeah, it's bittersweet. Depends on how you walk into the locker room, whether it's a win or a loss, but whether you win or lose, the appreciation for all the individuals in that locker room who put in so much effort to try to get this organization to where we're all trying to get it to, and so there's an appreciation, a love for the guys in the locker room because of the connection. I mean, we spend so much time with each other, so it's going to be different, and there's going to be a lot of different changes and all that stuff. But in that moment, it's just a great moment to just sit back and have gratitude for one another, have an appreciation for one another, and hug it out one last time before we break.
You have one last chapter in the 2022 season, so there's no period at the end of the sentence, but right now at this point, looking ahead, how do you want this team to be remembered?
As last year, I felt like that was a team that kind of built a foundation for us to stand on. And I feel like this team has built a framework of what could be. And I think people, despite the end of the season, can kind of look at the framework of the building that we're building. the skyscraper, if you will, that we're building. You can see it, and hopefully it propels us in the next year where we can kind of bring to fruition everything that we're looking forward to.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.